are going to do an illustration of this rule when my mean, mu, is 90, which this rounded to 1 decimal place is 90, and my standard deviation is sigma is 6.5. All right, so what I'm going to do is this is actually a normal curve, the normal distribution, which we'll at some point we'll talk about. All right, so if I go here and I go down and I go right in the center, this is where my mean goes. All right, so here, these are going to be, all of these down here are going to be reading speeds. A reading speed, and this is in words per minute. And the average is 90. So 90 is the mean, so that's my measure of center. So I told you above that almost all observations occur within 3 standard deviations. So if I add 3 standard deviations, I should be out here somewhere. So I'm going to make a couple ticks in here. And these are 1, 2, 3. I wasn't very good. Let's improve my drawing just a little bit. All right, and the same thing over here. I'm going to put this guy, and I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to do to my number line here, my x-axis, is I'm going to add 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations, 3 standard deviation. All right, and then on this side, I'm going to subtract 1, subtract 2, subtract 3 standard deviations, where a standard deviation is 6.5. So between here and here, this is going to be a standard deviation. And that is going to be 6.5 words per minute. All right. So 90 plus 6.5, that's 96.5. All right. This unit now, we're going to add another 6.5. So 6.5 and 6.5 is 13. So this is 103.0. All right. And then I'm going to add another 6.5. 103 plus 6.5 is 109.5. All right. So this guy, this is my mean mu plus sigma. This guy, this is my mean mu plus 2 sigma. So I'm adding 2. So this is 1 standard deviation above the mean. This 103 is 2 standard deviations above the mean. And similarly, this guy is going to be mu plus 3 sigma. So that's 3 standard deviations above the mean. All right. All right. Now I'm going to subtract. It's going to, so this unit is the same. So I'm going to subtract 6.5. That's going to be 83.5 words per minute. All right. I'm going to do another 6.5, and that is going to be 77.0. And then another 6.5, that's going to give me 70.5. All right. So this guy, this is mu minus 3 sigma here. This guy is mu minus 2 sigma. And this guy is mu minus sigma. And 90, that's mu. All right, so I've broken up my x-axis, and according to my rule, almost everybody, 99.7% of students will read between 70.5 and 109.5 words per minute. And then 68% will be between this one and this one, 95% between this one and this one. So we're going to draw this. We're going to draw straight lines up from these values that are above and below the mean. All right. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to write 68%. So 68%, according to my rule, of observations are within 1 standard deviation of the mean. So that's between here and here. So 68% of students read, you know, between 83.5 and 96.5 words per minute. That's what this tells me, because I've got 83.5 here. So 1 standard deviation below, 1 standard deviation above. And that's what's going to happen for any distribution that's unimodal and bell-shaped. All right. My next one is 95%. 95% occur within 2 standard deviations. And that's 2, so there's 2 below, 2 standard deviations below, and 2 standard deviations above. So 95% of students will read between 77 and 103. And then my last one is 99.7%. So almost all students, 99.7%, is between 70.5 and 109.5 words per minute.